Hey everybody, I had the best day ever today and I wanted to tell you guys all about it. I'm so excited. I went with my friend to my first rock and mineral show. It was only about 30 minutes away from where I lived, and that's not the kind of thing that historically I have been comfortable doing for some reason. I've made a lot of changes over the last couple of years, but I found this gym show and I decided to go. And since I'm in Tennessee, obviously I knew it wasn't going to be anything like, like the really big shows in Denver and Tucson. But I was still just really excited. I thought it was smaller. Obviously, it was, pretty small, I'm sure, relatively speaking. But there was so much cool stuff there. And I was really surprised, and I did actually get some great deals, and I want to show you guys everything I got. I will say this is probably how I am going to start buying my crystals. I have grown my collection to the point where it's really not necessary for me to welcome new additions weekly or even monthly at this point. I pretty much have what I need. So, and even if I didn't, I still feel like it would be, and I am all about instant gratification. I do not do delayed gratification well at all, but I would heartily recommend, like, even if you have to wait a few months, like, make a list of what you need, find a show near you, and then get to that show. Just to see. I did make a list before I went so that I wouldn't get too distracted. I think I've talked before about how I'm a crystal snob and I kind of tend to overlook really common crystals, and I will do this with quartz too. But I think it's really funny because, like, I'll say, oh, yeah, it's just clear quartz, whatever. It's pretty, sure. You can program it to do anything, sure, but it's not very exciting. But somehow, like, it does not fail. At least 6 times a year, I'll get on Etsy to buy something and end up purchasing another quartz point, which tells me that actually I really love quartz and I get distracted by it very easily and bond with it very quickly. And I really wanted to make sure that that I spent this money on stuff that I really do want. I just, I have ADHD. I get distracted by pretty shiny things. I start to buy one thing and end up with something completely different way more often than I'm entirely comfortable with. So I made a list, and that list did include some more rare stones. I was looking for dioptase. I was looking for dialite, which I used to pronounce Udilite because I'd only ever read it. So I was corrected on that today very sweetly by somebody. And I wanted some seraphinite. And those were like the 3 main ones that I was looking for. And and I had some others, one of the orange stones like creedite or vanadinite, or what's that other one? Wolfenite. I was open to septarian. I wanted to find a piece of, and and then of course just like general sparkly things. And I did find all of that stuff, and I really wanted to show you guys and talk about it because I was so pleased. I was so pleased. I had so much fun. I was there for about 4 hours and spent all of the money that I had allotted to spend. And that's another thing. I didn't go over budget. Yay me. And I really did get quite a haul here. So I will show you the first thing that I bought. And I really didn't plan to buy this, but it was so incredibly sparkly. I got this little apophyllite cluster, and there's the outside of it, and then it has this wonderful little bowl shape. And I'm really disappointed with this lighting right now because the lighting is so stark on my little ring light here that you just really can't see how incredibly glittery this little piece of apophyllite is. I mean, it is just amazing. It is just amazing. And so I'm going to put that somewhere where it can get good light and be sparkly and beautiful for me. It just did something for my heart, even just seeing it. I was so excited. And let's see, what did I get next? I wandered over to a table, and this is one of the ones that wasn't on my list. Not off the top of my head, but there is a particular body layout that I needed these for. Like I said, it wasn't at the top of my mind, but since I saw these at a great price, I got these two celestite clusters. I have a body layout for working on forgiveness that I want to use these for. I already have one cluster, and I have the other stones that I need for the layout, but I got these two, and I got these for like $7 a piece, which I think on Etsy usually pieces this size or at least $9. You know, and more often they are higher than that. Sometimes you can find it cheaper. Again, you know, it's just you have to be willing to shop and spend the time to look, and not a lot of people are. So go to a gem show and they will take care of that for you. And I got this piece of the vanadinite, which I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. This one looks sparkly in the light. I don't know why my apophyllite wouldn't sparkle like this for you glitter. And look at the even the bottom of it. And I was looking for more orange stones because my sacral chakra tends to block really easily, and I get very rigid and very serious and inflexible, and have poor boundaries. You know, and so my poor sacral chakra just struggles a lot. And I have carnelian and I have orange calcite, you know, but that's really all that I have to work with the sacral chakra. And so I really wanted to kind of add more. Oh, some cuprite. I did get some cuprite a couple of months ago. And something interesting that I have found, I know I have mentioned before in a post that a lot of times people will come to me for a balancing and they will be sure that their throat chakra is blocked. And then when I get in there and start sensing things, their throat chakra is fine, but the sacral chakra is blocked. And it just really makes sense to me that that would be the case because, like I said, the sacral chakra is where, you know, we get our pleasure and our zest for life and our enjoyment and our go with the flow. So if you're not having a lot of that energy, I guess you can feel really stifled. But like with stones like this, vanadinite and creedite, and I believe it's wolfenite and honey calcite. I know for sure honey calcite, like those are orangey stones that I would assume work well with the sacral chakra, but some of them actually work better for aligning and energizing those upper blue chakras, which I thought was really interesting. Honey calcite in particular, I have used it to balance my sacral chakra, but apparently it's really good for root, solar plexus, and third eye at aligning and clearing out those chakras. But again, I think that's also where like the personal intuition comes in, because honey calcite has worked really well for me on the sacral chakra. But I'm really looking forward to you know, to playing with this fellow. And I also got a wonderful little veracruz amethyst cluster, and I'm trying to show you how sparkly that is. Now, I hadn't ever really paid attention to veracruz, other than to know that it is one of the more expensive amethyst that is named after a place because it's very distinctive. And I found a picture of a piece on Etsy the other day, and for the first time I really saw like how water clear and shiny it is. And also I noticed that it grows in Lemurian shapes. You know, it has the ridges, it has it's kind of hard to, but it has like the tapered, like the tapered face. Like you'll have a broad flat face, and then you'll have a, you know, a tapered face that comes to a point. And And I haven't ever seen that in amethyst. You know, it's like they're like little Lemurian laser wands. And I thought that that was really cool. So I got this little cluster for like 20 bucks, which I was happy about. Again, today I was very attracted to glittery and sparkly things. What else? I did find a little cab of seraphinite. There was somebody with bigger pieces, but the price wasn't low enough for me to feel, you know, to feel like I wanted to do that. So I did just stick to getting a little cab. I can either put that with some clear quartz in a charm bag, or you know, place it on my heart chakra with a clear quartz just to kind of, you know, boost it and amplify it. Unfortunately, size does matter, y'all, and especially if you, when I'm working with, like, doing distance healing for somebody, or like I'm really wanting to affect my vibrations quickly, using a larger stone is better. You know, it will help affect that change more rapidly. And like, that's where clear quartz comes in as like the best amplifier of energy ever. And you can use any stone in conjunction with a clear quartz to, you know, with the intention of amplifying the energy of that stone. And also your smaller, so if you have a stone that you feel like is too small and you're kind of almost embarrassed to work with it, if you have just a little pebble of something, put it in a charm bag. Put it in a charm bag with a clear quartz and some herbs, you know, whatever herb is going to be good for your intention. You know, stick a little affirmation in there, activate it with your heart energy and your chi. You know, and boom, there you go. You've created a little womb with a little egg to grow, and your magic will grow inside the charm bag. I also got a piece of larimar. Again, not on my list, but who doesn't love larimar? And I just loved that this little piece was so round. It's perfect. Go right on my throat during my meditation. Great, great, great. I did find my dialite. I found a piece of raw. And I really love the polished palm stones of dialite. They are ungodly expensive. You know, we're talking, you know, for a bigger palm stone, we're talking like 80 bucks. And a lot of times they have a wonderful mix of green, black, and white, you know, and then this red Jimmy pieces in, and they are truly beautiful, and I love that. But again, I had to work with what, you know, with what there was, and I got this wonderful, and you can see, you know, how Jimmy that edge is there, and it was $20, $21, something like that. So even though it's not polished, so it doesn't look exactly how I wanted it to, that's still a wonderful specimen of this stone to use, you know, for healing and heart energy. Really great. She said that this came from Canada. I know, I really thought that most of it came from Russia. So I might look into that a little more. You know, Google is my friend. This looks like the real deal to me, even if it didn't come from Russia. So I was excited to find that. And I did find some dioptase. And I was a little scared about that, because dioptase is another stone that is quite expensive. Even for, you know, like a little quarter-sized piece of rock with just a sprinkling crust of dioptase crystals, you know, we're looking at like 80 bucks and up, especially depending on like how big they are or how well formed the crystals are, even if they're really tiny. And if you get a cluster, you know, of just the crystals, then it can get really expensive. But it is a beautiful stone. It is one of the copper bearing stones like malachite and chrysocolla. And I did find some pieces, and they were a little frightening, you know, with the price, because I did want to buy other things. But the lady that had them also had, and again, like, I had to turn to Google to make sure that this was a thing, because I could not imagine the ridiculousness of somebody tumbling dioptase, but apparently some people do. I guess it's not real common, but I did get 2 tumbles. And again, this freaking light, I like the brightness on my face so that you guys can see me better, and it's a little more flattering than my regular living room light, I feel, but it's so bright that it's really hard to show you guys, like the little glitters in here where I can see that there were crystals that were polished. And also the light is very cool, which kind of just, I feel like, makes it look like a piece of, you know, chrysocolla, but it is not. Like, I can see the difference with my, so basically what I'm telling you is the camera doesn't do this stone justice. Although I do feel like this particular tumble does have a little bit of chrysocolla. Like there are some little blue places, but these are just absolutely beautiful. And I'm so excited to have gotten them. I mean, they are really, really gorgeous. Again, like, I wish that my camera could show you guys the depth of that green. It's just absolutely mouth-watering. And oh, I was just so happy. And then I know I said I was really going to go in there and not buy any quartz points, but I found this baby, Colorado smoky quartz, just laying at the edge of a table, and it was only $50. And I mean, you just look at, first of all, look at all of its beautiful, like, ridges and lines and growth. And then right here we just have that incredible rainbow fracture inside. The tip is damaged, so we do have an empathic warrior here. If anybody needs to learn how to be less hard on myself and others, it is me. So hopefully this crystal will teach me something, but I just could not even with that price. I was like, if I walk away from that, I'm going to hell. Like, I couldn't help it. Oh, so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I mean, look at the damn thing's as tall as my head. Wonderful, wonderful piece. And I was kind of touched too when I picked it up and said that I wanted it. The man at the booth got sad. He said, "Oh, I will miss that one." So that's another thing. When I was walking in with my friend, I told her, I said, "Amanda, we don't need to go in here talking about a bunch of woo-woo stuff because we don't want to get rooked. If these people think that we're woo-woo people, you know, they're going to mark up their prices. They're not going to be honest with us. They're just going to think we're crazy. We want to get good deals, so don't talk about the woo." And she was like, "Well, I don't really do a lot of woo-woo. I just like crystals." And I said, "Okay." So we go in. I told her to be careful, and I'm in there bellowing about my third eye and my sacral chakra half the time that we're in there. Oh my God, I don't know. Nobody like got weird with me or anything like that, but it did kind of make me feel good that that booth owner, you know, was sad that I was, you know, that, I mean, I'm not happy that he's sad, but I thought it was cool that he had a bond with the crystal that he was willing to admit to out loud. You know, I did have, because I was so excited. I love crystals so much, you guys. Like, not even just for the metaphysical stuff, but just how freaking amazing they are and the earth is. And I was loud and I was enthusiastic and I was chatting with strangers, and I found a piece of blue fluorite on a table, huge piece, and it was like apatite blue. Like, it was incredible, and I squealed, and I was like, "Oh my God, would you look at that color?" And the guy at that booth, like, turned around, and I was like, "Well, sorry that I like your fucking fluorite, man." I mean, obviously I didn't say that, but it did kind of dampen my fire just for a minute, but I got over it. That is not the first time that my enthusiasm has been off-putting to somebody, and I'm sure it won't be the last. And then I don't know if I showed you guys the septarian. I bought that from the smoky quartz guy. That's another one that was on my list, actually. And this stone just looks like a very like masculine stone to me, and I get like almost when I would see pictures of it before, I definitely get like a feeling of really like fiery, almost martial energy. Um, it definitely looks like a very masculine stone to me. A lady that I know did say that she was working with a piece one time that she felt like it was side-eyeing her a little bit, kind of like, okay, like, what are you doing, lady? And I could see that, but from everything that I've read, this is actually a very gentle and nurturing stone. And I thought, well, appearances can be deceiving. And I did decide that, I mean, isn't that cool? I mean, that doesn't even look real. Like, that looks like somebody just painted it or something to me. Very cool. Very cool crystal. So I will, check that out, see what that does, see how we can work with that. And then here's another one that I didn't mean to buy, didn't have on my list, but that I have looked for before. I was walking past a booth and they just had like agates and agate slices. And again, like crystal snob over here, don't really pay attention. But the man running that booth, big old boy, big boy. He had a ball cap on and these big old overalls. And I saw him showing this lady something, and he was telling her that it was $30. And she said, well, I'll think about it and I'll come back in a few minutes. So I looked over and I saw a sparkle, and I said, what is that you got there, man? And he said, oh, this is $30. And I said, I'll take it. And I snatched it up, and it's a piece of fire agate. It is half rough, half polished. And I don't know if that lady ever came back, but if she did, I'm sure she was disappointed. And I am so just in love with, like, I put it right in my pocket and was carried around. Like, you want to talk about sacral chakra energy, man. Actually, I believe that fire agate is good for all three of the lower chakras: root, sacral, solar. But I just cannot, like, this is such a magical looking stone to me, with that little bubble, like iridescent thundercloud inside of it. Oh my god, like, this is my writing buddy for the foreseeable future. I will definitely be carrying this little guy and getting to know him, and really look forward to, I have been, the last few mornings, I have been doing a chakra balancing meditation, with my crystals on. And, not real long or anything, but I just fell into such a funk in November, and it was depressing, and like all of my spiritual practices went by the wayside. It was all I could do, like, to get out of bed and go to freaking work, man. It was really rough. Mars and Saturn, I think, were squaring, and there was just a lot of astrological fuckery going on. Plus, it's that time of the year. It's getting dark, it's getting cold, it's raining all the time, it's freaking sad. And I was just kind of having a hard time. So the last few mornings, I have been working with my chakras in the morning, and it has helped so freaking much. It has been amazing. So I really look forward to adding this little BB to the mix, and I'm just so thrilled. So again, I heartily recommend going to a gym show. If you would like to work with me to help balance your chakras, if you need a forgiveness body layout or anything like that, if you need an elixir, hell, if you just want to, talk about what crystals might work best for you in your life, just shoot me a DM. My Calendly link is in my bio, and I am going to go play with my stuff, and I hope everybody has a great night.